What is up, friends? This is Joshua with Cellar Door Sound, and I have an awesome video today showing you how to parallel process your drums inside of GarageBand, all using completely free plugins. It's going to be a really fun one. But before I get into that, if you're new here and you're trying to learn how to EQ and use compressors and what settings to use and how to use saturation to enhance the liveliness of your tracks and your vocals, I have an ultimate vocal preset bundle just for you that's completely free, that comes with over 30 presets for EQ, dynamics, and for saturation. If you sign up at cellardoorsound.co/free presets, it comes with a training video that shows you, one, how to put these into your computer so you can easily access them on any of your tracks, and also it shows you how to slightly manipulate them and what to look for whenever you're loading these presets in so that they can work for every single vocal that you're going to be using. The coolest thing about these presets is they're designed in a way for you to actually learn to listen to what you should be EQing and how you should be compressing, and they give you a shortcut into understanding these plugins, and eventually will lead to you being able to make these adjustments and settings all on your own. Sometimes it's kind of hard watching videos and being like, oh, this frequency and that frequency and whatever, and these presets are built really to just help you grow and help you learn. And so go grab that at cellardoorsound.co/free presets. It's completely free, and I'm really proud of those, so go grab those. All right, so last week I showed you how to manipulate like crazy this bass here, and we got a really fat synth bass sound. And through the video, I actually came up with an idea of some stuff to do with these drums because I thought it would just be fun to do. So I thought I'd just make a quick video on that. So what we're going to be doing is using some parallel processing to make these drums not just have a more thicker sound and start to feel the sound of this track. And the parallel processing on these drums is going to really start to meld really well with the bass, and it'll be really fun. So let's just listen to where we left off on last week's video, and we'll start there. All right, cool. So the drums have a really good sound on their own, which is why I want to mess with them and make it crazier. So we're going to do some parallel processing. And what is parallel processing? Basically, what parallel processing is having two different versions of the same track, and one version of the track you leave dry and you mix it like normal, and the second version of the track you just compress like crazy. You can add distortion, you can do some crazy EQ, and you can really have fun, and then you blend the two together, and there's just infinite possibilities whenever you're mixing like this. So in order to do this, I want to do this overall on this drum sound. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to solo the kick, snare, and the hi-hat here. And we're going to bounce this down and bring it back into our session. So before we do that, we always want to check our preferences, go to advanced, and make sure this auto normalize export products at full volume is unchecked. You do not want that because we want the mix of this drum sound to be exactly the same. If you have this selected, it's just going to raise up the volume and make it super loud, and you're not really getting an accurate representation of what these drums were doing. So now that we have that unchecked, we're going to go to share, and we're going to go to export song to disk. I'm going to just throw this in my downloads and call this Drums Crush. And we want to make sure wave is selected and uncompressed 24-bit because we really don't want anything to change. If you have it on 16-bit, when you bring it back into your session, it's going to make it 24-bit anyway, and you'll actually lose a bit of quality, and we don't want that. So let's export this. Should be pretty quick. All right, perfect. And then I'm just going to go down to my downloads folder, which I have right here, bring in this Drums Crush, and let's make sure that it sounds the same. Yep, sounds about right. So now this is where we can just have some fun. So I'm going to go ahead and add a compressor that I talk about all the time, and it is this Tokyo Dawn Labs TDR Kotelnikov. This is just a fun compressor that you can really do a lot with. And we're going to turn this ratio all the way up. Let's do 7:1, and I'm just going to just turn up this threshold and really get this a lot over what I would normally do. So let's try. All right, so we're compressing very heavily. I went ahead and lowered the release of this. Is a little bit advanced, but basically what we're doing is we're telling the compressor once the sound gets above that threshold, we want it to come back faster once it starts to compress. If you have the release higher up, it takes longer for it to get back to 0. I mean, we really want a fast attack and a pretty fast release here. So that's the first thing we're gonna do. It definitely sounds crazy. I would never just keep the drums like that, for sure. But now we're gonna go ahead and let's add some distortion. These videos lately have just been a whole lot on distortion. So we're gonna go to distortion 2. Which is this guy right here. And I'm gonna actually use one of my presets. These are presets that come with my Ultimate Vocal preset bundle. And we're gonna try heavy distorted vocal effect. And let's just see what it sounds like. Honestly, that sounds kind of sweet. I don't think I would change that. So we're just gonna keep that right here. And let's just see where we're at. So normally when I do this and I have a parallel channel, I like to bring it all the way down, push play on the track, and slowly bring it up to where I really like the sound of it. So this is doing a lot. It's kind of making the drum sound really interesting and a little bit more intense. I know just from listening to that, I'm gonna want to go to this EQ here and take out just a little bit of this low end, just a little bit, because it's just conflicting a little bit with the raw drums. Let's try this. Sounding pretty sweet. So let's mute our drums crush and play this track with just what it was before. And then let's turn on our drums crush here. And it's adding just a little bit of excitement. It's pushing the drums. You're hearing a little bit of the in-between notes, a little bit more, and it sounds pretty sweet. I definitely like what this drum crush is doing. And you can get crazy here with the drum crush. You can compress more. You can add more distortion. You can even add like some reverb. We already have some reverb on the snare, which I actually would have probably turned that off to have the drum crush group, because I don't necessarily want to have reverb on them, but it's not bad because this track is just crazy, kind of lo-fi. So the parallel compression is actually doing pretty good. So just to show you what else you can do is I can actually bring this way higher, add some high end, and you can really just get some high-end harmonic distortion on this parallel compression, and it works really well. So let's mute the drums crush. And then let's turn it back on. Pretty sweet. I definitely like it with some of that low end in there, but you can go crazy with parallel processing, and it's super fun. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. Hopefully you can take some of these tips and use them in your own songs. I would absolutely love that. And if you haven't yet, go grab that Ultimate Vocal Preset Bundle. Over 30 presets for EQ, compression, saturation. You won't regret it. You can use it like crazy. We used it on our Drums Crush here. Meant for vocals, but all these work for really anything. I've had a lot of students put them on acoustic guitars and put them on violins and really have gone crazy with them, and it's just helped them learn so much. So I really want that for you. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week.